So game 2 here in Houston, not far from your home and a couple hours from where Royce O'Neale grew up, your baby. We want to pick your brain and get to know more about Royce O'Neale.
Okay.
Yes, so first of all, our Jazz fans love when you're on TV. They love talking to you. They love your personality. Was Royce, what was he like as a kid?
Royce was pretty quiet. He liked to play video games and he loved basketball. He was a really good kid, never gave me any trouble. He used to shop with me up until about junior high school. Then he realized shopping wasn't any fun. But Royce was a really good kid. He really was.
Yeah, I think we've turned to Twitter too to ask some of our Jazz fans because Jazz Nation loves you guys so much. And one of the question was, how has Royce been able to stay so humble in the NBA? And a lot of that has to do with the way you raised him.
It really does. Growing up, I used to tell Royce, look, don't be animated out there on the court because the scoreboard will show who you are and what you've done for the game of basketball. You can be a great player without being animated and aggressive and, getting teed up and things like that. I said, your job is to go out there and execute and play defense, and we get a win. So we'll celebrate after we get the win. And he's always been that way. Very calm demeanor. He doesn't crack under pressure. Matter of fact, he likes the pressure because that motivates him to really bring his A game.
Yeah, it's awesome to see just, him as a player. The story, his backstory, undrafted, kind of like Joe Ingles, and then coming in and starting in the second round of the playoffs. That's got to be amazing for you guys.
It has been incredible. In 2015, when he graduated from Baylor, we had a draft party. All of his friends came down, his coaches, the family, and we're all sitting there watching the draft, and I'm watching him, waiting to hear his phone ring. And late in the second round, he got a call, and he was on the phone talking. And when he hung up, I didn't see the excitement in his eyes. And of course, we didn't hear his name, but we had a good time. And then after everybody left, I went to him and I said, how are you doing? He said, I'm handling it. It wasn't my time. He said, Celtics were considering me in the late second round. He said, but I think I'm going to weigh my options and go overseas. And he has stayed humble. I tell Royce, keep working hard because when it's the right time and the right fit, you'll be called.
And it seems like this team really fits with him, and he fits with this team.
He really does, and he loves Salt Lake City. He loves the Jazz organization. He loves his teammates. I mean, they have a brotherhood, and it's genuine, and you don't see that a lot at this level. So Royce can get along with just about anybody, and a lot of guys on the team, they have the same personality and demeanor as he has. So it's a good fit for him.
When he found out after spending, was it 2 seasons overseas, and then got the word that he's coming to the Jazz and going to be a part of the Jazz, what was that moment like for both of you?
Well, it was funny. We were in Las Vegas for Summer League, and he called me Saturday night at like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what's wrong? You're in Salt Lake City. And he says, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm asleep. What are you doing? Are you okay? You're not in trouble? He says, no. He said, but I'm going to have some good news or bad news for you tomorrow. So he said, a couple teams are looking at me, and we'll follow up with you tomorrow. I said, okay. And of course, after I hung up, I couldn't go back to sleep. So Sunday afternoon, he called and he said, I've got some good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first? I said, give me the bad news first, And he said, well, the bad news is you don't get a chance to go visit Lithuania. The good news is we made it. I signed with the Jazz. And so I'm on the phone and I'm thinking, can you say that again? And he said, Mom, we made it. And I tell you, I was filled with joy. I was excited. I cried. I was so happy for Royce because he had worked so hard to get where he's at today. And I was so happy for him. I really was.
And it's game day, so the music started, which, speaking of, about music, we got to have our karaoke.
We do. I think Royce is waiting until the playoffs to work on karaoke, so we'll give him a pass. But after the playoffs, it's on.
Oh, yeah, they've got to focus on getting things done first.
That's
All
right.
right, Thanks so much. We'll see you in Utah.
Thanks.